Hello everyone, welcome back to another video. Today I'll be providing an update on the status of this channel. This video is sort of going to be a follow-up on my previous video because although it is my best work on this channel, it is severely flawed in many ways, as evidenced by the fact that it's been 4 months without uploading since I made it. Before I start, I hate advertising stuff, but I recently hit 500 subscribers, and I do want to say thank you for that. But more importantly, that gave me access to the community tab, and while my upload schedule is abysmal, I've been keeping fairly active there for the past few weeks. I would recommend checking it out regularly as I will have the most up-to-date information on this channel, and I'll just be active there in general. Now that that is out of the way, it is time for me to start the video. First things first, my previous video was way too long, and the media issue that comes to my mind about it is that for a video titled I'm Back, it doesn't actually talk about my return until near the very end of the video, which made it very misleading. To all of you that expected regular uploads after that, I apologize to you, and really everyone in general because either way I should be more regular. So rather than waiting until the end to talk about my future, I'll try my best to explain it now. Going forward, I don't really have an upload plan. While I am back, I can't promise I'll upload often. It has already been 4 months since my previous video. While I did plan on my next video after that to come in at least a month or two, I wasn't expecting it to be this long. There are many reasons for this, which I'll get to later in the video, but the main thing to understand is that this just isn't my thing. I've been slowing down a lot of things lately, and my channel is unfortunately one of them. As I've said in the past, this channel was created because of broken promises and because of my eventual commitment to finish what I started. While I have sort of returned, that doesn't mean I'm back in full swing, which can be seen by the fact that I'm making this video in the first place. This is going to sound depressing, but I probably won't be back in full swing. Just by looking at the gameplay, you can tell that I'm not really into Bad Business anymore. I still like Bad Business, but not enough to play it for hours every day. Nonetheless, they spend an exorbitant amount of time creating videos for the game. Rather, I'm using gameplay from the game Hours, which I was able to record unhindered, only being limited by my own skill rather than my ping, or other players, or the server itself, or most importantly, my interest. I'll talk about this game more later on, but for now the focus is on Bad Business. All this isn't to say that I'm done playing Bad Business or making Bad Business videos, but that I seem to be reaching the final point of my journey. Ever since I've started playing the game, my interest for it has come and gone in waves, but this time the waters are different, and I haven't come back or wanted to come back to the game. I've had varying thoughts of leaving this channel for as long as I've had it, but this time, things are looking more that way than ever before. All of this sounds very gloomy, having me return just to say that I'm gone once again, but I will say that this is not the case. I still like Bad Business, and I still like making videos. Simply, the purpose that was once there is no longer. There are still many things that I want to accomplish, and the short answer is that I'm not done yet. My days making Bad Business content are numbered, but that isn't to say that I'm gone or will be gone anytime soon. There are a few last videos that I want to make that I'll be working on over the course of the next few months. And while Bad Business is no longer my favorite game, I'll still be playing it periodically, especially when 3.0 and legendary skins are released. I'm far from the days of regularity within Bad Business and YouTube, but my time here is not done yet. I hope that none of that was too confusing, but it likely was. In short, my interest in Bad Business and YouTube has been dwindling. However, I'll remain on both, just much less active. I'll be going at a very slow pace, but I'll still be creating Bad Business videos every so often, but not forever. This channel, however, won't be going anywhere, and I still have content even if it isn't Bad Business. So what will my new videos be like? Something I regret saying is the video ideas that I had about the future in my previous video. I said that I would like to do weapon videos on Bad Business, general videos on Bad Business, and then review videos on other games on Roblox. A lot of the things that I wanted to accomplish then still hold up, but many things don't. I mentioned in that video that I want to make a video going over all the Bad Business updates that I missed, but that simply just won't happen. I haven't even attempted to make that video at all over the past 4 months, and I really don't want to in the future. The amount of time to make something like that just doesn't match my commitment. As for the weapon videos, they will unfortunately follow the same fate. I really wanted to make weapon videos, but as everything stands, I don't think that will happen. I don't want to spend too much time on Bad Business or YouTube anymore, as I want to do things that actually really matter to me, and the weapon videos are just sadly too much. I also don't want to just make a few videos and then stop completely, which will most likely happen. Unless something drastic changes, I don't think I'll be coming back to those videos. So in that case, what will my new videos be? This leaves the general Bad Business videos and the review videos. As I've said, I don't want to fully leave Bad Business. There are many big videos that I've wanted to make but never really got to. These videos will be me talking about the game as a whole and my general thoughts on the game. While none of these are set in stone, I would like to make videos talking about the differences between old Bad Business and new Bad Business weapon balancing, Bad Business maps, the future of the game, where it's at its current state, and why it became my favorite game in the first place. Again, I won't promise that any of these specifically will come out, but these are the ideas that I have in mind. As for the review videos on other games, I am also excited for those. After the way I've been talking about it and using it as background footage, it is evident that I quite like the game Hours, and I hope to do a video on that as soon as possible, and it will probably dwarf the Ragdoll Universe video in quality and depth, which was already up there. In fact, I'm so excited to make this video that I already made the thumbnail before I even started working on this video. I don't really have a set list of these videos I want to make, and they probably won't be often, but if a really good game that I particularly enjoy comes around, I'll try my best to make a video on it. So that's mostly the gist of my channel over the next few months. I'll be making a few last bad business videos talking about my experience with the game that will serve as a finale, and get to work on review videos on the side. You may have noticed, however, that I didn't mention anything about streaming, and that was intentionally so. In my previous video, I mentioned that streaming might be a distant possibility, and I actually did a bad business stream the day after making it. The reason I didn't mention it is because I just don't really know what I want to do with streaming. At the moment, I don't know if I want to stream or not. It's a possibility, but not one that'll be super likely. Maybe I'll stream every now and then, but I just don't know yet. So, a lot of that sounded pretty dull. The future of my channel, from everything that I've said so far, doesn't look too bright. However, there is still some light. Although I've talked about a lack of interest in bad business on YouTube, it doesn't mean that I'm quitting this channel anytime soon, or anytime in a while. Even though I've been talking about leaving bad business, it will still be a slow process to ease into what I have planned next. I touched on this briefly in my previous video, but I'm not really super passionate about bad business for YouTube. Rather, my calling is game development. I generally don't like to talk about this for various reasons, but it will likely be a large part of the future of this channel. My general idea is for now to ease out of bad business, finishing off everything that I really want to accomplish in order for me to start making progress on that journey. All this may seem very far into the distant future, and a lot is, but some parts have already been started. For those of you who don't know, you can make custom maps for bad business in Roblox Studio. This means that you can make maps for the game with the same tools as the developers themselves, and then import it into bad business itself to play on a private server. There are many technical limitations to this that prevent it from being a very large part of the community, but it is still somewhat of a thing. Back in September, I started work on a bad business custom map that has been worked on and off since then. It is still a while from completion, but it has taken shape and turned out better than I ever could have imagined. While this custom map may seem like a small detail in the grand scheme of things, when looking at my channel, it is a monumental first and last step in what is to come. This custom map is very ambitious, and is pretty much my final goal as of now that I have relating to bad business. I've had many goals over the course of me playing, from pure golden weapons to Damascus U, and this is where it lies as of now. This, however, marks the first step in the transition. Making custom maps is far from game development, but it is my first real chance to see what I can do. I've messed around in Roblox Studio since I started back in 2015, but this is the first time that I actually have an end goal in mind. Once finished, I'll make a video about it, which will be my first video of many to come in that direction. I've had many ideas of what I want to do afterwards, and while I don't want to share yet, I will say that in the coming months after the custom app is finished, I'll slowly post videos and updates on what I'll be working on. I don't expect to be a front page developer or anything absurd like that. My skills are still far from being ready to tackle an entire game, however, I've made enough progress to be able to be confident in my limited work. I know that even after spending hours and hours working on this custom map, that there will be practically no return, and that almost nobody will ever play on it or even knows that it exists. I understand that I'm putting all this work into something that doesn't really mean anything for me, other than my own enjoyment and value, and that is the first sign that I know I'm going down the right path. I can promise you all that this is something that I'm truly passionate about, and isn't just all talk. I've wanted to do stuff like this for the majority of my life, and bad business sort of just feels like a distraction. I can say they won't really have anything big to come for me in quite a while, but I'm okay with that. It will be a slow journey to sufficient knowledge, but my future plans, while distant, are possible, reasonable, and will happen. Wow, that was a lot. I didn't think that going through what my future holds would have taken that long. That probably took a bunch of confusing turns that weren't expected. I know that all of this is incredibly confusing, and that was probably the hardest part of any script I've had to write ever, just because of how weird it was. So, in order to avoid confusion on everything, I'll do a quick summary of all the important details. Basically, I'm back to YouTube in some way or another, but don't plan on uploading often, and my upload schedule will continue to be horrible. However, I recently unlocked the community tab where I'll continue to be active. I've wanted to ease out of playing bad business making videos for months, and I'm finally starting to carry through. I'll be making a few last bad business videos while also making a small amount of videos reviewing other games like the Ragdoll Universe video from before. All of this is to slowly ease out of making content in bad business and will rather be focused on my journey of Roblox game development, which will be the path of my channel as far as I can see. Basically, I sort of want to leave bad business as a content creator, but before doing so, I want to finish off all of my unfinished business. These plans may seem bleak, however I am hopeful that I'll be able to end on a high note. All of this was just a mess to type out, and then say. So if you have anything to ask, just go ahead and ask me because I know that all of this isn't really explained in the best way. So that about wraps up my upcoming plans. Don't expect to make any videos anytime very soon, but I expect my next video to be actually, well, a video. rather than whatever this is and what the last video is. So that is all the important stuff. I'll be pretty likely to follow through with these plans, and if I don't, I'll at least be able to say something about it in the community tab. Now that I've finished explaining my plans for the future, I'll be going backwards and talking about everything that has happened to me since my previous video. If you're just here to know what I'll be doing next, then the rest of the video will be pretty boring, and everything important is out of the way. With all that being said, it is time to talk about everything else. First things first, I just want to say thank you all. The amount of support after uploading my previous video was unmatched by anything ever in my life. The comments and feedback and everything just made me smile so much, and it was one of the most touching things that's ever happened to me. To see everyone come back together after nearly a year was really heartwarming, and I don't think I'll experience anything that beautiful like that in a long time. One last time, just thank you all for everything. So, my previous video was massive. A YouTuber who generally makes less than 10-minute videos attempting a 40-minute video after not making any content for nearly a year. This on its own is pretty crazy, but there are so many other factors that just make it too big for me to wrap my head around. At this point, that video has been so defining and big that I actually consider it to be a chapter in my life. Although I did have a good time making the video, and there was such an overwhelming amount of positive that came out of it, I'm going to say right now that that video was a nightmare. Lately, I've considered myself to be a pretty hard worker, and I put a lot of effort into what I normally do. However, nothing has, and may never will match the amount that I put into that video within the circumstances at the time. I put so much into that video that it has taken me all the way until now to be able to start working on another video. After the amount of work, time, and consideration that went into that video, it changed me so much that here I am making a whole new video explaining the effects of it. As far as I can tell, I started working on the video on October 9th of 2021. This isn't to say that I started planning then, or going through ideas, as I've been planning since 2020. October 9th is when I started the script. At the time, I expected it to be a long process, much longer than it normally took, but I also expected to be able to finish it somewhat quickly because since my ideas were mostly sorted out. This, however, quickly turned into the longest thing I've ever written, by an incredible amount. After 9 days, I had finally finished it, with 13 pages and 10,000 words exactly. This was already an incredible feat, but I still had a deadline set for myself. In order to get it done as fast as possible, I had recorded the second half of the voiceover late at night instead of waiting for an opening during the day, which made me sound like an absolute zombie. Or more so than I already do. In order to meet the deadline, I was editing every moment that I wasn't at school or doing homework, and I completely neglected my sleep. When it was all said and done, I was still just barely on time, but I had to wait another week to upload it because of issues with exporting, which I continued to work on around the clock fixing. So, when the video was finally done, I was in a very weird spot. I had just spent so much time and effort in the video that it kind of changed me. After seeing the response in the video, I was also changed. Coming out of that video, I was a very different person, but not as different as I thought, which is a large reason why it took me this long to make my next video. So, what happened in the last 4 months? Why did it take me so long to make this video, and why won't that happen again? Well, the most simple answer is that I just wasn't ready to make the video. I had the most motivation I've ever had, and I didn't want to let it go to waste. I had time, and I didn't know how much time I had until I didn't have time. I was the most capable to make that video, and I just didn't want to pass up that opportunity. I had experienced a lot of problems in the earlier half of 2021, and while they're still mostly resolved, that wasn't to say that I was better. After making the video, while I felt more accomplished and more ambitious than I ever had, I still just wasn't feeling right. There are a lot of things that were going on that I mostly don't want to talk about on this channel. I'll get back to this later, but another huge reason that's taking me so long is the fact that I already needed a break. I had gotten so little sleep and had pretty much put everything in my life on hold while making the video, and I needed a while to catch up. So long, in fact, that it has taken me until now just to get back to normal sleep. After making the video, I had just relaxed for a while. There were a lot of things I wanted to do, but the video had just come first. I played a lot of games afterwards that I'd wanted to play for years and just hadn't gotten to doing it. I believe that after spending so long that I should deserve to take a break, but one thing led to another which led my to-do list keeping the video lengths from when I went to make it. But before all of that, let's go back to before. I still had a lot of problems that just weren't being resolved, and I didn't know where to go or what to do about them, and I just sort of let them happen. After a while though, my life took the weirdest turn it has ever taken, and everything just went away. 2021 was a weird year. I don't want to say that it started off bad, but it ended at the best point in my life. My mental health had reached the highest point ever, and for the first time in a very long time, I felt at peace. I'd started the custom app in September and had occasionally picked up from time to time, but after the video was made, I really got to work and started working buildings left and right and was incredibly proud of my product. This, however, went on hold, as something else that I wanted to accomplish took its place. I've played Bad Business since June 23rd of 2019, but it didn't actually become my favorite game until March 2020, when Weapon Skin Challenges and, in turn, Damascus Gold was released. Due to all the circumstances at the time, I had become really passionate about getting Damascus Golds, wanting to, and progressing on my goal of getting in every single assault rifle and then every gun in the game. Later, everything slowed down for various reasons after a few months of grinding, later transitioning to pure gold instead of Damascus. Everything changed in August of 2021 with the announcement of loadout mastery skins. I had realized that Diamond and soon Hue was in reach. At the time, I only had around 50 Damascus Golds, but due to my pure gold grind, I had dozens within just a few kills, and I had grinded 5 Damascus Golds a day for 6 days straight, which catapulted me up to Diamond, but working on the video had slowed my grind down to a halt. After working on the video, I desperately wanted to finish the grind. I was too close to stop. As I went on, it got exponentially slower, as I got gold on all the primaries, then secondaries. While in the 90s, I'd wanted to work on the custom map and the new video, but I was just too close to stop. All of this, however, ended on December 20th of 2021, where after 633 days of grinding, it had all finally come to an end. This was the best point in my life, and while things are good now, they might never reach that point again. I had recently made a return after nearly a year off YouTube. After countless hours of grinding, I just achieved a seemingly impossible goal, giving me levels of ambition and feelings of accomplishment unmatched, and I'd finally found my footing in the custom map, with a passion unfelt elsewhere, and all of this when I finally felt at peace. December has always been my favorite month, but I'll always remember last December. Even more had happened soon after. Around New Year's, I was looking through someone's Roblox profile, and I had found that they had the game Hours favorited. I recognized this game because I'd played it once in November of 2020, but never really did too much. I liked the game then, and I promised myself that I'd play it later, but I never really got to it, so that's when I decided to do so. After playing the game for a little bit, I instantly became engaged, and for the first few days of the year, I grinded it harder than almost anything in the past. In just 3 days, I unlocked all the content within the game. I remember those days very fondly. Since January 1st of this year, I have considered it to be my favorite game, over Bad Business, and since then, I've slowly stopped playing Bad Business. I still play it most days, but most days I just play it to see the shop. Hours is a great game, and after playing it, a lot of things sort of fell into place. I realized that, as a person, it makes no sense for me to play Bad Business. One of the things I'm most surprised about is that I ended up playing Bad Business for as long as I did, and earlier Strucid. Most people I know assume that FPS games are my favorite genre, but it is far from that actually. I don't really like PvP games that much, and this is gonna sound really weird, but my favorite genre on Roblox is actually survival games. I like natural disaster survival, survive the disasters, super bomb survival, and so on. This might be a hint that I'll be working on a Roblox studio over the coming months, but it's too soon for me to say anything. After playing Hours for, well, hours, I had finally realized my previous thoughts on games like Bad Business. Hours is a single-player game, and after not dying because of ping issues, not dying because of exploiters, and not having to worry about arguments in the chat, I'd finally realized that Bad Business isn't my place. FPS games revolve around you ruining someone else's day, or someone else ruining your day. For every kill, there's a death, and all of your actions in turn affect another player. This may seem harsh, and it is, but that is how I currently feel about FPS games. I know that's not really the reality, and that there's so much more to it, but that's just sort of the mindset that has settled in my mind, and I'm happy with that. I'm confident that at least half the people who are watching this video find Bad Business more of a chore than a game. Although I could be wrong, and for those of you who do really enjoy Bad Business, congrats. So, where am I now? I understand the world more than I ever have, but I have more questions than I ever could have imagined. My life keeps getting weirder each day, and who knows, I might have to make yet another video just like this. All of this being said, I'm currently doing well, and I wish the same for all of you. So, that's about it. I'll say that I did have a good time making this video, and I avoided most of the same mistakes from last time. I have a much better view of the future than before, and my ambition will be kept in check. I absolutely hate trying to provide an estimate on my next upload. However, while working on this video, I'm starting to get the sense that 3.0 is going to be released very soon. However, my knowledge is still somewhat limited. If this is the case, I might make a video on 3.0, but right now it's just too close to tell. I'd highly recommend checking out my community tab regularly, but other than that, that's about it. You guys have given me more support than I could have imagined, and both the fact that you are here right now watching this video and the fact that I am here right now making this video is cause and effect. But other than that, thank you all so much for watching. Bye. Alright. I'm gonna wait for Malachi to get here.
I don't think you can wait long.
He says he's trying. Oh, that almost just ended it. Okay. I can't believe this. Imagine my computer explodes. I'm so scared. Okay, he's here. Okay. It's right here. This is it. This is the spot right here.
Hurry up, do it, my teammate. Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Did it?
This is it. This is actually it. Oh my gosh. Oh my.
It happened.
It's it. It happened. It actually happened.
Oh my gosh, congrats, dude. Congrats.
I can't believe this. Oh my gosh.
Oh my gosh.
That looks so good.
I'm so proud of you.
I did it. Okay. The whole time I thought it looked super ugly. This actually looks really good. Oh my gosh. I don't even.
It looks a lot better.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. The newest Damascus person.
Wow. That's. Hey,
Oh my
battle,
gosh.
man. Good job.
I swear my computer, if it's like crashes or something, I'm gonna lose my mind. Alright.
It's not gonna crash.
I'm gonna watch this so many times in the future, and I'm always gonna smile looking at this. There gonna be some people who like watch this right now, and they're just gonna just hello people in the future. Alright, I'm done.